Welcome to Ping 24 Updates, your daily dose of what's happening around the world. Subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. Breaking news, Manila, July 30th, 2025. Tensions have reached a boiling point in the West Philippine Sea. A Philippine Navy frigate, the BRP Antonio Luna, has intercepted a Chinese maritime militia flotilla near Ayungin Shoal. The Philippine vessel issued a firm warning, standing its ground in a way that was unthinkable just a few years ago. This is not just another standoff, it's a declaration. The Philippines is signaling a dramatic shift in its maritime strategy. For decades, the Philippine Navy was dismissed as a museum fleet. It ships relics of World War II, slow and poorly armed. Patrolling over 7,000 islands with outdated ships was a nearly impossible task. When China began its aggressive expansion, the Navy's limitations became painfully clear. Outmatched and outmaneuvered, the Philippines seemed hopeless, a David without a slingshot. But today's standoff is the result of years of determined transformation. New leaders emerged, determined to build a navy that could defend the nation's sovereign rights. The goal wasn't to match China ship for ship, but to create a force strong enough to make any aggressor think twice. This was a decision to invest in national pride and security. The Philippines is no longer a bystander in its own backyard. A new line has been drawn in the sand, and this time, the world is watching. The era of helplessness is over. A new chapter has begun. The Philippine Navy's history is one of making do with hand-me-downs. For years, its most powerful ships were aging U.S. cast-offs, like the BRP Raja Humabon, a relic from 1943. Maintained with pride, these ships were fundamentally obsolete, lacking guided missiles, modern radar, and electronic warfare systems. Their engines were unreliable, spare parts scarce, and many vessels spent more time in port than at sea. Against China's modern fleet, these ships stood little chance. The 2012 Scarborough Shoal standoff was a wake-up call. Diplomacy without credible defense meant losing ground. The Navy could patrol but not fight a modern battle or enforce maritime claims. This vulnerability forged a new generation of officers who understood the urgent need for change. They studied modern naval warfare and recognized the massive gap between their capabilities and their needs. The struggle of this era laid the groundwork for ambitious modernization. A consensus emerged. The Philippines had to invest in its own defense and end the era of the museum fleet. The time for dependency was over. The nation was ready to chart its own course. A new generation of leaders brought a bold vision. The Philippines' future depended on the sea. Relying on international law and allies was no longer enough. A new defense doctrine emerged, focused on credible deterrence and defending maritime borders. The revised AFP Modernization Act unlocked significant funding for a multi-year procurement program. The focus shifted from hand-me-downs to acquiring integrated modern platforms. Partnerships with the US, Japan, Australia, and South Korea deepened, but now as equals, not dependents. Joint exercises grew in scale and complexity, training Filipino sailors on advanced systems. The military adopted a phased modernization plan. Basic capabilities first, then credible deterrence, and finally, a fully capable defense posture. This structured approach sent a clear message. The Philippines was serious about building a 21st century military. The tide was turning, slowly but unmistakably. The nation was no longer content to watch from the sidelines. A new era of maritime ambition had begun. The world was starting to take notice. The arrival of the BRP Jose Rizal and BRP Antonio Luna marked a turning point. These were the Philippines' first warships with guided missiles and modern combat systems, a quantum leap in capability. Built in South Korea, they could see farther, fight smarter, and strike harder than anything before. Their commissioning was a moment of national pride, signaling the end of the museum fleet. Armed with advanced missiles, radar, and sonar, these ships could finally challenge adversaries at sea and in the air. Morale soared as the Rizal-class frigates became the fleet's new workhorses, patrolling the West Philippine Sea. Chinese vessels now faced a modern warship that could defend itself and fight back. The frigates allowed the Philippines to enforce its maritime claims with real credibility. Intensive training created a new generation of skilled officers and sailors. These ships became floating classrooms, shaping doctrine and future acquisitions. The Navy was reinventing itself, fast. The era of weakness was over. A new standard had been set. Next up, the Miguel Malvar-class corvettes, the Navy's most advanced ships yet. Built by Hyundai Heavy Industries, these corvettes are smaller but packed with cutting-edge sensors and weapons. AESA radar, advanced anti-ship and surface-to-air missiles, and sophisticated sonar make them formidable multi-mission combatants. With 2 frigates and 2 corvettes, the Navy can maintain a constant presence in key areas like the West Philippine Sea. This growing fleet changes the strategic calculus for any adversary. The Philippines is no longer just buying what's available, it's building a balanced, layered force. Frigates provide long-range presence. Agile corvettes handle diverse missions closer to shore. The acquisition strategy is maturing, tailored to the country's unique maritime challenges. The Miguel Malvar class signals a long-term commitment to modernization. The fleet is no longer symbolic, it's operational, credible, and ready. The Philippines is building a navy for the future. Modernization isn't just about big ships. The Navy's new Acero-class fast attack craft, lightning-fast, missile-armed, and perfect for the archipelago, turn geography into an advantage. These boats can hide among islands, strike from a distance, and swarm larger foes, creating a powerful asymmetric deterrent. They're cost-effective, ideal for controlling straits and coastal areas. Below the surface, the Navy is ramping up anti-submarine warfare. New frigates and corvettes come equipped with modern sonars and torpedoes. Joint exercises with allies now include complex anti-submarine drills. The ultimate goal: acquiring submarines, a true game-changer for Philippine defense. Submarines would provide covert patrols and strategic deterrence, something no surface ship can match. The dream is closer than ever, with options from France, South Korea, and Spain on the table. The Navy's transformation is bold, ambitious, and relentless. The Philippines is preparing for every domain: surface, air, and undersea. Military modernization is fueled by economic growth and a clear strategic vision. Years of economic struggle kept defense spending low, but prosperity has changed the equation. Now, military strength is seen as essential to protect economic gains and maritime resources. But building a modern navy is expensive. Maintenance, training, and operations add up fast. The defense budget is still dwarfed by China's, forcing tough choices. Policymakers must balance defense with education, healthcare, and infrastructure. The goal: create a deterrent, not provoke conflict. The Philippines must assert its rights without escalating tensions, managing alliances and regional perceptions. Every new capability demands a more sophisticated foreign policy. Archipelagic defense means protecting the entire nation from north to south. Secure seas enable resource exploration, protect fisheries, and ensure trade. Naval power is now seen as an investment in the nation's survival and independence. The Philippines' 7,000 islands were once a defensive nightmare. Now they're a strategic asset. The new strategy: use the islands as a network of unsinkable bases and sensor stations. Control key sea lanes and straits, turning the archipelago into a fortress. New bases and radar stations in places like Palawan and the Bashi Channel bring forces closer to flashpoints. A growing sensor network, coastal radars, aerial surveillance, provides real-time domain awareness. Commanders can detect threats early and respond quickly. Any aggressor now faces a distributed, resilient defense sensors, missiles, fast attack craft, and aircraft across the islands. The environment is complex and dangerous for any would-be invader. By leveraging geography, the Philippines is building a deterrent far greater than the sum of its ships. The Philippine military's transformation is amplified by stronger alliances, especially with the U.S. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement gives U.S. forces access to key bases, enabling joint training and rapid response. The alliance is now a modern partnership for a free and open Indo-Pacific. Japan, Australia, South Korea, and even European nations are deepening security ties with Manila. This network brings technology, training, and diplomatic support. The Philippines is no longer a weak link but a proactive, capable partner. Its strategic location and growing power make it a keystone in regional security. The country now helps shape Indo-Pacific stability, not just react to it. Beijing has taken notice. The Philippines is more resilient and well-supported than ever. This is about more than ships. It's about a nation reclaiming its destiny. The Philippines is now an actor, not an object, in the regional balance of power. The world is watching as the Philippines stands as a guardian of peace and stability in Asia.